Hey everybody, Mr. Brewer, Fish, Bucks, and Bullets, back with another video for you, and another rifle. I have been a fan of Tikka rifles here for about the last 4 years now. I've hunted with a Tikka T3x Super Light in 6.5 Creedmoor with a black stock like this, stainless steel barrel and action for the last 3 or 4 years, and I've killed a few deer with it, a couple small spikes, and then my biggest buck ever, which is a mule deer buck. And then my son had a cow elk tag here in Western Oregon and went and on the first day shot a cow elk with the 6.5 Creedmoor. So I ended up giving that rifle to him for Christmas. When I think of rifles to hunt with, I often gravitate toward the Tikka T3x just because it's so light and accurate and consistent, and also just a nice smooth bolt action on it, and it just works. But like I say, I gave that to my son for Christmas because he got his first big game animal with it, which was a cow elk. So he was pretty excited about that. So that left me with a gap in my rifles here that I needed to fill, and so I wanted to go with another Tikka, of course, and wanted something with a little more power, and so I chose a Tikka T3x Lite Stainless in a 270 Winchester Short Mag, and that's what you see here. So right now it's sitting with just the regular stock. I've ordered a Bell & Carlson stock for it in green with black splatter. And I'm going to potentially put that stock on the rifle, but for purposes of these videos, I want to make a couple of videos with this rifle where I take it out as is in the factory configuration and see what I can do with it, see how comfortable it is to shoot. This one's going to have a bit more recoil than the 6.5 Creedmoor, of course, being a 270 WSM or Winchester Short Magnum. So I was going to leave these factory stock or a recoil pad on the rifle, but when I started shouldering it, I was hearing a popping sound back in here, so I think there was some plastic piece that was broken in there, or it just wasn't placed properly, and I could have redone it. But I did order a Limb Saver recoil pad for it. Everybody says that's one of the main upgrades you need to do with a Tikka, so I ordered that and put it on here, and it fits pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of the Limb Saver. I know a lot of people are. The material is sticky, and I've had one deform on me before, so I'm not a huge fan of them, but they do absorb the recoil really well. So I'm going to take this rifle out as is and shoot it and see how it feels and see what kind of accuracy I can get as is. And then if I'm super happy with it, I'll probably buy another Tikka and put the Bell & Carlson stock on it or something. I am thinking about seeing if I like it with this stock. The Bell & Carlson stock will add a little bit of weight to it, just maybe up to 8 ounces. This gun as is weighs 7 pounds 9 ounces, so just over 7.5 pounds. It was slightly heavier. I weighed it before changing out this recoil pad. It was 7 pounds 8.4 ounces or something, so it's like 1 ounce heavier, if I remember correctly, with the Limb Saver recoil pad on it. So 7 pounds 9 ounces, and I haven't even talked about the scope I put on it, which is a loopholed 4.5 to 14 by 40 3 HD with the zero lock on it, so I've got a turret that I can dial. But speaking of dialing, I'm glad I have the capability to do so, but I'm more looking for something that I can just point and shoot out to a game animal a long way out, like 350, 400 yards. And if you set your rifle up to shoot like 3.5 to 4 inches high at 150 yards, I think it is, then it'll drop about 4 to 6 inches. I think it's about 6 inches at 400 yards. So I could aim within the vitals of an animal and not have to dial anything out to about 400 yards. This is what I'm thinking. Of course, I want to buy a chronograph and chrono the ammo, and of course that's with some 130 grain bullets that fly really flat. I'm gonna try out first Federal Trophy Copper 130 grain, and they're supposed to be going 3,280 feet per second. Again, we'll chronograph that and see. The barrel on this is 24.3 inches, so you're getting plenty of velocity out of that. But yeah, so then I've also got the Federal Terminal Ascent 136 grain bullets, and they're doing something similar. And I really want the Terminal Ascent to shoot better, but I would take either one. I really like the Terminal Ascent bullet. Anyway, I'm excited about the scope, I'm excited about the rifle, and I'm also excited that I have the option of switching out the stock to the Bell & Carlson if it becomes necessary. We'll see how it goes with this, but that about wraps it up here for the Tikka T3x preview. I'll post some footage at the range shooting the gun. Hopefully I'll be able to give you some good content, whether it all be within one video or within several videos. All right, guys, we're out on the mountain. Conditions are not ideal. It was not supposed to be rainy, but we got a little break in the rain. And I'm just gonna bore sight this rifle here, and then we're gonna try to get a group at about 50 yards. We'll go out to the range here, to the actual shooting range soon as well, to see what kind of groups we can get at 100 yards. But for now, I just want to get a feel of the rifle and see what we can do as far as a little group here at about 55 yards. So I'm just looking down the barrel with the bolt out, of course, and lining it up right on the center of the orange bullseye down there. And then I'm moving the crosshairs to be on it. So that's how you bore sight. It's going to probably be close enough to get us on the box. So we'll see how it goes. And I did go ahead and clean this barrel out really good. I don't do a break-in really. This is a cold hammer forged barrel, so you're not really supposed to have to do that. So I am going to, I cleaned it out and I used copper remover. I don't remember the brand of it, but I used copper remover, which I've never used before, but I used that in order to clean all the copper out of there from any factory testing, to give this copper ammo the best chance possible to make some good groups for me. So again, these are Federal Premium Trophy Copper, 130 grains. They are rated at 3,280 feet per second. And so I'm gonna fling a few shots and see if we can get sighted in. First shots with the new gun here. And that's what that round looks like. See how it feeds. Fed fairly smoothly. That putting the bolt down was a little rough, so we'll see. Okay, I've got about a 6-inch orange adhesive target down there, and I'm in the target. So I'm about 3.5 inches at about 4 o'clock. So not bad. The recoil was nothing, not bad at all. The limb saver was really nice, I think. That really saved my shoulder. I did see the barrel jump a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and make an adjustment. I'm pretty confident that was a decent trigger pull. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reposition my rifle. Actually, I just lost my box. Gotta go reposition. Okay, I threw some rocks in my box there, so should hold down a little better in the wind and stuff. And that's where I hit at about 50 yards there, 55 yards. So there's a little bit better angle of the rifle. I know, guys, that my rifle looks like it's pointed up to the sky. It is pretty level. My truck is not level though, so that's why it looks so crazy. But that's beside the point. I'm gonna go ahead and try to adjust for where I hit. So I'm gonna put my reticle back on the bullseye, and then I'm gonna hold the rifle still in the same position, and then move the reticle to where the hole is on the box. So I just moved the windage. That's gonna be pretty dang close. It might be like shooting an inch low or so at 50 yards, but that's quite all right at 50 yards, I think. So let's try again. Yeah, it picked it up that time and it fed a lot more smoothly. Okay, well that one felt a lot louder for some reason. Probably because I was thinking less about the recoil. I noticed the report, but I didn't quite move far enough, I don't think. But I'm going to shoot another one because I felt like I moved far enough, and I'm sure the barrel is just getting fouled right now. But I'm about halfway between where I was and the bullseye, so that's going in the right direction at least. All right, so that one was about an inch below, or 3/4 of an inch below the last shot. So I think I need to move it over left about an inch. So that's going to be 8 clicks left at 50 yards. And I did look at the case. It looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of residue on the neck. Not sure if you'll be able to see that, but primer looks okay. Looks pretty flat, but that's probably to be expected with the Magnum. I don't know a lot about reloading and stuff, and pressure signs and stuff like that, but it looks fine to me. So I'm gonna shoot some more. And I do like to feed as much as possible from the magazine just to see how it feeds while I'm shooting. So, and I think the max capacity on this is 3 rounds. Yeah, it is for sure. I cannot fit another one in there even if I try. So it is, you know, 3+1, which is not great, but at least it's not 2+1, I guess. should, now that I've moved it over the 8 clicks, we should be right below the bullseye, or at the bottom of the bullseye. Okay, yeah, I'm right at the very bottom tip of the bullseye, so that's right where I want to be. Barrel's warm. I've got 4 shots in it so far, but I'm going to probably leave it there and just shoot a 3-shot group and just see how well I can do, and then we'll test it 100 later. So far, I'm liking it. Yeah, that one's touching the same hole. Ooh, there's some heavy bolt lift. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. It looks like the nickel plating rubbed off on that one a little bit in a couple spots. Anyway, no cracked case. Primer looks the same as the other. But yeah, we did see some heavy bolt lift on that, which, you know, I know the bolt lift is always a little heavy when you're cocking it after you've fired, but that was heavier than normal. So don't like that, but it is what it is. Oh, I'm on 8 power too. I'm not sure about this scope. Yeah, I can see my 2 holes, but something is not right with the scope, because it's blurry at 14x for some reason. Should not be, in my opinion. But I've cranked it down to, of course we're only at 50 yards, so I don't know. Well, the focus is good there, so I'm going to leave it there. Alright, take one more shot. And then I'll go down and show you the target. Yeah, I think we got 3 in basically the same hole. Bolt lift wasn't bad there. All right, well, that's a powerful round. Can feel the difference for sure with the 6.5 Creedmoor, and I'm thankful for the recoil pad. I think I might leave it as is. Then I'll just have to figure out what to do with that Bell & Carlson stock I bought. But if I'm shooting 1-inch or sub MOA groups, I'm not gonna mess with it. Obviously, I'm only at 50 yards right now, but so far looking pretty good. I'm happy. Let's go show you the target. All right, guys, I really couldn't be much happier with that. I shot 3 shots there. Oh, in the bottom of that diamond, and I think that left hole is just slightly bigger. So I had shot the 1 shot here when I was bore sighted. Then I tried to go over, didn't go far enough, shot a second one just to see, and that's about 1/2 inch below the first one. And then that's 3 shots right there, and that's center to center, that's probably 0.3 inches. So if that's going to hold true, then I think this thing's going to shoot under an inch at 100 yards. Maybe as good as like 0.6 or 0.7 inches. So, looks very promising. The sun came out on the way home and I saw these deer out in the field. Just thought I would try to grab some video of them, even though it's not very clear. No bucks, just a mom and her two babies. Beautiful.